Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle video tutorial on Affinity Designer and creating some very unusual background designs for shapes. Maybe something like a cog design. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove this. Now this is made up of lots of different cog designs, all blended in using paste inside. That's the key thing for this. So I'm just going to remove all of that. Let's just come to the top, move and remove. Let's start from the beginning. So the cog tool, just go over to the cog tool. It's a vector design, can be any size and you can modify it in numerous ways. So there it is there. What you can do, you can go over here and change the teeth and a variety of different things. But what you can also do is you can go to edit and copy. So that design is now copied. And you can go paste inside. So you can paste it inside itself. So now it's pasted. Doesn't look like anything's changed. However, you can change the colour now. So I'm just going to quickly change the colour. Change the colour, still nothing particularly has changed because of course it's still on top. What you can do, however, layers. You can find that in view and go down to studio and you've got layers there. So there are layers. What you can then do is resize it. And now while I've selected that, that's the key thing. Select that layer and you can resize that design. Also you can just go over here to the move tool, go back to the move tool and you can move it around. And you see, obviously, you've got the top one, you've got this one, the yellow one here. Anything that's outside of that is just cut off. So you can just see that one there. You select it and you move out, you can't see it at all, the other design. Everything that's within that sort of a clipping mask. It's the best way of looking at it. So you can move that around. But what you can also do, you can change all the various settings. So teeth, and change that, go to the cog tool, and you can still modify the settings here. It's all still editable. Long as you've got that design selected. You can go back to that one, you can change that one if you want. And you can change the colour if you want to do that. What you can also do, you can select that one, and what you can do is go to edit and copy and go to paste inside again. So now that's pasted inside that one. So you've got another. Now I don't know if there's a limit. There might be a limit of 20 or 30 or something. Maybe there's no limit. I don't know. I haven't tested it. I haven't got to the point where it suddenly says no. It's possible at some point there is. But what you can do with that one selected, you can go over here to the move tool again and you can resize it again. So you can move it around. Of course, it's got the same colour, so you can't tell the difference at all. What I can do, I can change the colour. So it's green. And you can move that around. Again, that just cuts off as well. Where it goes out beyond the edge of the one that's above, you will suddenly lose it. So it suddenly just disappears. You can still also modify the number of teeth, so you can change that as well. You can also, if you want, change the gradient maybe. Let's just go over here, gradient tool. Just select the gradient tool, which is found here, and then just add a gradient to the design. Or maybe go up here, linear, and select bitmap. So you can add a bitmap. Or maybe go for an image or something into it. But what you can also do, you can hold down the Alt or Option key, and you can duplicate the design. So you can just drag that across, and you can create multiple copies, and they're all underneath that existing one there. If you want to move that one around, just select that one, and then just move that up. And everything will move with it. So it's all relative to this design. So that can be moved over there, and they all move as well. Or you can go to that one and you can move that one. As long as you're selecting it, that's the key thing. Select that layer and then you can modify it, change number of teeth. So you can go like that. Maybe change gradient. Maybe change it into a solid colour again. Let's go for blue. Or maybe go up here and have a stroke. So let's just go for a stroke and something like that. You can change it in all kinds of ways. Also what you can do, you can with that selected, a key thing always selected, you can always remove it as well if you don't want it. Just select it like that. Go to layer and you can go down here to layer effects. And you can maybe Gaussian blur. So set the radius and you can blur the design. Or maybe go down to bevel and emboss. Just change some settings, you can do bevel and emboss there. You can also, if you want, you can always go to layer and go to new adjustment. Maybe you think, let's just go for HSL. And you can change the colour there. And you can see that's just applied to that cog there. And you can duplicate that design. And you can move that design. You can move that one as well if you want to move that up above the other one. You can move it into the other one if you want. You can move them around and so on and so on. There's literally no end of ones where you can position them in different ways to create different designs. So you can select that. Let's just select that one. I want to select that one. And I can duplicate that now. So I can, everything that's below will now be duplicated. So I can just duplicate that design, and I can see with that selected, I can then resize it. So I don't have to keep it the same size. I can go to that one, I can maybe rotate it, maybe resize it that way. Move that over there. Maybe again, go to layer and new adjustment layer and HSL. Change the colour there. What you can also do, you can go over here and select that one, and that one is selected. You can go up here, you've got normal. You can go for like difference, so you can blend that. And you can hold down the Alt or Option key, and that will combine with that, And again, all these layers, all still editable. So if you decide, you know what, I want that to be different, or that HSL, double click that to bring it up, and you can change it. You can change the setting, you can see it just changing over there as it changes colour. And you've got blending modes for that as well. So if you want to, go for difference, and so on and so on. Literally can make a very complex background design for that cog. And that is still live as well. So what you can do, you can go to layer and layer effects. So bevel emboss. So you can add bevel emboss for that, like that. And what you can do, hold down the Alt or Option key, and you can duplicate that. And you can see you've got two separate entities there, or maybe a third entity. But what you can also do is, with those all selected, I can edit and cut. Seems a bit harsh after doing that work. However, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over here to the rectangle tool, that, and then I can just go to edit, and I can paste inside all that. So you've got that all pasted inside that rectangle now. And it's still, at this point, every single element of this is still, if you go down all the way down, you can go, you know what, I don't want that gradient, and I can change that gradient. So I can just go to the gradient tool, and the gradient tool is still accessible there, and you can still modify it. Now, as you add more and more things, you will notice it probably while I've been doing this tutorial, that it's getting slower. So it's literally, at some point, there's a lot of complexity here. It's keeping track of a lot of things. So it's a bit more slightly jerky, I think. But you can create really wonderful, stunning designs for any shape just by using this approach with this paste inside. And you've still, of course, got this, which you can then, you know what, so I don't want that size, I can resize that. And then I can hold down the Alt or Option key and duplicate that design. So you've got now two copies of that. And you can go then to normal and maybe go for difference. So you can, no, maybe not. Or maybe lighten, or so on and so on. So there's literally 1,000 different combinations you can do with combining these designs, and they are still, as I said, still editable all the way down. And you'll notice it's getting slower because it doesn't refresh the thumbnails as quickly as it was. So you've got this combination of a variety of adjustment layers, gradients, could be images as well included, cogs as well as rectangles, and you can see you can create a very, very unusual design which you can still edit. I hope you found this tutorial of interest. Always adding new tutorials all the time about Affinity Designer, Affinity Photo, Affinity Publisher, as well as Photoshop, Illustrator, and many, many others. Also, if you've got any comments, any things that you think that wasn't explained very well, please let me know. Also, anything additional information you would like, always great to get some comments back. Also, a dislike or like. Also, please subscribe. Always adding new videos near enough every couple of days. Thank you much.